So I fell down a rabbit hole. So I was out here playing good old Fall Guys. While I was playing the game, for some reason I was getting a bit nostalgic and I was wondering why. And then I remembered this game, the good old beautiful Doritos Crash Course. So Doritos Crash Course was something that I was very interested in as a younger Xbox 360 kid playing. The fact that you were able to see your own avatar that you created and being able to use him was something that was very special to me. Back then, there were so many different variety of games that you could play with your Xbox avatar, such as Doritos Crash Course 1 and 2, um, Castle Miners Z, and a few more that were pretty famous and that everybody enjoyed playing. So you might be asking yourself, well, Ninja, what's the point and what's going on here? Like, what rabbit hole have you gone down? Well, the rabbit hole that I've gone down in this sense is that do you guys remember how present the Xbox avatars used to be? Like, look in the background of this video of Doritos Crash Course, right? Like, there were so many indie games that you could have, and then to top it off, whatever outfit you paid for would be in the game. And, like, let's go to the customization that you had of your avatar. Like, look here, okay? Yeah, I spent a lot of money on trying to decorate my good old avatar and whatnot. And then having all the opportunities of, like, being able to place it in the game and having it make sense felt a little special in certain and different ways. Random fun fact here, apparently when you change your avatar it still works on these 360 games. Yes, Dorito Crash Course is free. Back then there were so many options that you could have with your characters, such as Gara, and not only just having Gara but Kakashi Sensei. And then, like, look at the detail they put into it, specifically here with the Daedric armor that I have, right? And back then, you also used to be able to, like, unlock certain cosmetics. And I feel like that's something that we're missing, okay? And what I mean by missing, I'm meaning not just how cool your character slash avatar looks, but how awesome you used to be able to show off to your friends. In 2018, they had decided to reimagine the avatars and the characters that you could possibly have. And in that same situation or the same deal that they had, they made it so that way you could choose between your original avatar or your new Xbox avatar that they wanted to create. On paper, this could have worked very well for them. They could have made quite a bit of money in the sense that if they went with their classic formula of having these indie games and whatnot, you would have been able to see more of a profit margin in the sense that people would be buying more skins to show off to other players. And the big thing that we're having nowadays is our, there's no point of it, right? Because you had to buy a battle pass or something along those lines. I mean, the project itself didn't go well at all because they didn't add anything to the characters. They'd only have a few things out, and then now you're also paying even more money, right? It was so bad that they completely ended it at the beginning of 2025. And before that, they shut down the 360 marketplace, which has all the outfits and character customizations to your original Xbox avatar. And this wouldn't have been that big of an issue until you find out that they just scrapped the new avatars. And then to top it off, at the end of the day, they just went back to their original old avatars. But now, you can't buy anything for them. Like, it keeps showing this loading screen anytime you get in, and it'll show like few of the previous pictures that it used to have, but that's it. And I feel like if I'm gonna pay $30 for the damn Xbox Live subscription, I should be able to, at least be get that part of the marketplace, right? Like if you guys wanted this to succeed, you guys could have had it so that way, like back in the day when you opened up your Xbox, you saw everyone's avatar. And they made it a staple of Xbox, specifically to the 360, that you had this avatar, that it was so great. And then to top it off, you and all your homies got to discuss on what your character has. You could turn it into a profile picture. There's so many things that were available to this. And I think that this is a complete downfall to it. However, I wish that it was back. So the Xbox Avatar era mainly lasted from 360 to the end of 360. But it also went over to the Xbox One era where they were still making skins, they were still doing things for the community that wanted it, right? And like I said, it had the apps open so that way you could buy, like stuff for your character for the marketplace. And that was one of its big successes. And like I said, I wish we had that same community back just because it's like it was a time where it felt like Xbox cared about its people, right? Like Xbox wanted to make sure that you guys looked good, you had cool stuff, you know what I mean? Like just anything of that nature. Like I know for a fact that Microsoft has always been greedy and Xbox isn't what it definitely used to be for sure, but at least back then they kept up the illusion that they cared about the player and the customer, right? And this was, in my opinion, one way that they did that. And now it's like when you look at a McDonald's, right? Back then you used to have so many different like options when you went there. You used to see decorations and now it just feels bland. And I think that it's because of the non-social interaction that we have when we could have had it with the avatars. And like of course this isn't just Xbox, this is also PlayStation. I mean PlayStation never really had avatars, right? But it's the sense that gaming right now is not social and I feel like that's a big issue. But at least with the avatars, you had your social history and then you also had your character history in a way. And I feel like that's truly the biggest downfall is I don't get to see my friend's customization. I don't get to see if he's on like they used to even have them when they weren't online sleeping, Just cool stuff like that, little details. But now it's sad. Like you don't really see the avatar as much. It's exactly the analogy I mentioned about McDonald's. Maybe I'm just hit with the nostalgia bug, right? Like maybe I'm just overthinking of it, and maybe we really shouldn't have avatars, and it really doesn't matter as much as I'm trying to play it out to be. But it's definitely something that I miss interaction wise. And maybe I'm trying to grab a piece of nostalgia here. Like I was 13. No, no, no. I was like 11 or 12 when I got my first Xbox, right? And I'm 27 now. And it feels like there's a lot of time that's passed that has changed the whole interaction with Xbox and the player. And maybe like I said, maybe I'm just trying to grab a piece of nostalgia. I'm going through it right now with John Cena retiring, and my whole mindset on it is getting to me, right? But I just remember how everyone felt and how everyone felt alive and wanted to show off their avatar, and then play games where your avatar was like the main character, and like even the rip off Minecrafts and all these parkour stuff, you know. So in conclusion of this video, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I wish they kept it. I know it's not that big of a deal anymore, but like it felt nice to have something that went around a little different, you know? Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like the fact that the avatars are truly dead, or if you wish that it'd come back.